Esther's daughter Tracy often tells the story. Esther heard her tell the story to her own children recently, that when she was in college, she was working as a waitress in a 50s diner. And most often on her way to work, which was 15 or 20 minutes, depending on traffic, not much traffic happening then, she would think about how glad she was to be there and about the customers that would be given to her in her section and how playful they would be, how happy to be in this playful environment they would be, how nice they would be to interact with, and how much fun she was going to have in interacting with them, and how nice it was going to be to interact with the cooks and the other people that were working in the restaurant. And Tracy noted that when she took the time to do that intentionality for that segment, that it always was a nice evening. But if she just got in her car and went to work and didn't get down the road a little bit with any intention, then she found herself, and this is really the point that we want you to hear, and then off we'll go into whatever you want to talk about. She would find herself reacting, not out ahead of it, reacting to it as it came. So when a not so pleasant customer would be seated in her section, it was hard not to react to it. Anyone would. But if you've gotten out ahead of it and you've asked for the kind of people that you want to interact with, you give the universe the opportunity to yield to you what you're asking for. Now, the universe is always yielding to you what you're asking for. So what good does segment intending do? Segment intending causes you to line up with what you're asking for. It's about you identifying what your point of attraction is going to be, so that in this segment of your experience, your point of attraction is going to be something that you have particularly identified that you want to emphasize. You see what we're getting at? And we would like you to, just for today, maybe tomorrow, and possibly for the rest of your life, think about getting out ahead of things in just that way. That here I am, new to this moment, but not so new to this moment. Here I am, old me, new to this moment. How much of old me is in this moment getting in the way of the new to me in this moment? And as you begin playing with this, what you're going to begin to notice is that you have a lot of control over what comes into your experience, segment by segment by segment by segment. So many things. The universe is cooperative, and the law of attraction is always gathering all of the cooperative components. But sometimes, if you're not paying attention, you are not identifying and dictating the components to which you intend to be cooperative. And since it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, it's all about attraction, then don't you want to do whatever you can do to get out ahead of it so that you can be a vibrational offerer who attracts to you what you intend to attract, rather than someone who just sort of stumbles into a moment? That's what we call creating by default, and then reacts to the moment. It's not easy to be a physical being in a world where there is so much for you to observe, because the normal human relationship with life is one of reaction. But a life of reaction is not a life of deliberate creation. A life of reaction is not being out ahead of it. A life of reaction is reacting to what is going on. That is not deliberate creation. That is creation by default. As Esther is thinking about getting out ahead of it, she sort of got lost in the out ahead of it. And then she began asking the questions of us. Abraham, what do you mean? What exactly do you mean by getting out ahead of it? And we said, we mean only this simple thing. Don't react to life, plan it. And so we just want you to digest your life in this delicious way. We want you to feel appreciative and thankful for what you've been doing in really general terms, and not get too detailed about why anything is or isn't happening right now. But from where you are, if you could just accept along with us the perfection of where you stand right now, and then just softly intend for the things that you would most like to experience in as best as you can figure out what the next segment of your experience is, you will discover a cooperative universe unlike anything that you've experienced on a consistent basis before. And before you know it, you will feel your directing, your soft, gentle, expectant directing of all things working out for you. Now, they always are. But when they work out as you have asked them to work out, ooh, that's when life begins to feel extra fun to you, you see.